Hi everyone, we've got Anton here with us. He is Australia's highest profile thought leaders, or one of the highest profile thought leaders, a specialist in the field of leadership. He's a best-selling author and a motivational speaker, TEDx speaker as well, I should say, added to that. He's helping leaders to upgrade their mindset, upskill their leadership, and uplift their teams. Look, he's got the uplift there, love it. And to create psychologically safe and high-performing teams. You must say that on an ongoing basis, Anton, is that right?
Rolls off the tongue, Luke. Rolls off the tongue.
I love it. Thanks for joining us today. And we're going to get right into the thick of things because we want our audience to really take in those leadership qualities that you profess to everyone all the time. Firstly, Anton, what is the one challenge that changed everything for you in business?
Going broke, losing everything in my early 40s. One contract business we were, so one client business worth multiple millions. And when we lost that contract, obviously we went from probably 2 to 2.5 mil turnover on Friday to Monday to zero, as well as the property crash at the same time in Gladstone. And so I think we ended up, about 3 mil down in sort of a very short space of time. And coming back from that's been fun. But that was a challenge that I just hope I never have to go through again.
Do you feel like people, you hear these stories a lot in business that they've gone to like zero and then bolster themselves up? Do you think it's a necessity to get those hard knocks? I know you teach this a lot in terms of leadership and so forth, but it's just like the more and more you see it, the harder the knock, the harder, the quicker the rise, or the more successful the rise.
I think the more motivated the rise, I've been extremely wealthy and I've been quite at the other end of the scale. I know what feels better and I know what I will work, climb, hustle, grind to achieve. I'll never be back and we never will now because I've sorted all that stuff out and I'll never make those mistakes again. I don't think it's a necessity. I think it's a motivator if it happens.
Fantastic. Secondly, how do you believe effective leadership is shaped by innate qualities versus developed skills and experience? So nutting down those individual leadership skills.
Right. So, Luke, only 10% of people are actually born leaders. So 90% of us have got to learn them. If you ask Inc., they'll tell you there's three things. One is clarity of communication. Number two is helping people feel safe. That's the psychological safety piece. And three, being on a mission, being mission or vision driven. So 90% of people don't have the ability to do any of those three things. They've got to be learned. 10% of people show up with them.
Yeah, fantastic. It's good to hear those qualities that we're looking for. And 10% only have the leadership skills. 10%.
Right. So you think, and now here's the real interesting thing. How many people of those 10% actually go into leadership roles? So now you just think in our organizations, site-wide, 90% at least of the humans in leadership roles have had to learn those skills and are potentially still learning them. And if you are, reach out. If you're struggling, give the Guinea Group a call. Here to serve. That's why
I'm
we're
going
on
to
the line.
go a little bit off tangent here, and thinking about like leaders, you think about sports teams, you think about political parties, you think about CEOs in companies, and the ones that are at the bottom, the ones that are failing, the ones that you always talk about, who's at the top, who's leading this, and it just filters through. What are your thoughts around all this?
Absolutely. And it starts as soon as the leader shows up on a daily basis. The energy they bring, we are a reflection of our leader. And some of that happens by osmosis. The leader's energy is transferred into the energy of the team and the emotions of the team. And if you want your team to feel better, just show up differently, show up more positively. But then it's down to language, then it's down to behaviour, then it's down to being trustworthy, then it's down to being credible. And Luke, I've got a podcast on influence. I've spoken to 100 people nearly on what's it take to influence another human. And the most common words that come up: trust, communication, care factor.
Right. And look, they are little snippets for everyone to take away with them today as well. Anton, in a high growth, high stakes ventures, what does strong leadership become? What does it take for it to become a critical factor that determines success or failure?
High stakes leadership, Luke. So leadership, the quality of someone's leadership is determined when the pressure's on. You say high stakes, the word I use is crisis. So when you're in crisis, that's when you lead. Leadership under pressure. And that's some of the work that we do. We have a program, Leaders Under Pressure. Why? Because if you can't respond, if you react to every time there's a crisis situation, your team will check out because they don't know which way you're going, because you can't make clear decisions. You're not in your frontal lobes, you're in your amygdala, you're in the emotional part of your brain. That's a reaction, not a response. So leaders, every leader out there, understand how you respond in crisis situations, because the way you respond will determine how well you and your team get through that crisis.
Same in sport. I'm going to bring you an exact example of this today. I saw something on social media. College football kicker. They kicked it from the goal line, hitting where the posts are. So like in a straight line. So only had one post to aim at, and was able to kick it from the edge of the field to that post, hitting the post on the target. During the game, they had the kick to win the game in front. Guess what happened?
Missed
it. So what kind of advice or training would you do for someone like that as pressure situation? And often the kicker, especially in American football, is like the last one to touch the ball right at the end of the game to seal the game or to lose the game.
And let's bring that back to Australia, Luke. They measured Jonathan Thurston's heart rate when he was about to take a crucial kick in a game. He was able to drop his heart rate by something like 16 beats a minute just by breathing. So, and that calmness, and he talks about this, there was a whole bit of work done about how does he stay so calm in those pressure situations. He has a process. And I would love leaders out there. So we've done a research project. We've done a study with the university to work out, and I've studied leaders and I've asked them, what are the skills that you need? One of the common things that comes up is they need to have experienced crises in the past to work out how to do it. 2, they need leadership under pressure training. And 3, they need the real process that they go through. And here's a simple one, Luke, for all your listeners. And these are great questions too, by the way, because I can really give you really concise answers. Here's the thing: breathe, oxygenate your frontal lobes. 20% of the oxygen in your body goes straight to your brain. Pause. Frontal lobes, bro. Frontal lobes. Right here, brother. Right there, man.
Yeah.
That's where all the action happens.
We love it.
This is the teenage brain. If you've got a teenager, they plug them in about 25. My 25-year-old rang me and he said, "Dad, am I a fully formed human?" I said, "Yes, you are, mate. Yeah, you're 25." True story. And so you breathe, you pause to give yourself time to catch up, because it takes 6 seconds to experience a full emotion. There's all the emotions there that we take people through in our workshop, in our coaching. And then the third one is refocus. You've got to take your focus off the crisis. You've got to have a forward focus. Crises are about a forward focus. It doesn't matter what's happened already behind you. You've got to be looking forward. What's my action? If you've got a crisis, get into action. Call someone, do something, take action. Straight away, you'll feel so much better.
Yeah, and often people say that, in like losing a grand final, you often lose a grand final before you win one. So, the experience, like you said, I'm going to move on from here, but I thought I'd ask you next, for the leaders looking to integrate AI or new tech into their ventures, what's the mindset shifts or capabilities are essential to thrive?
Do you know what I'm finding at the moment, Luke, working with leaders all over the place? They talk about AI or they talk about leadership and people. Here's the biggest shift that's got to happen. Correct. So simple. So simple. we can't, like, let's say AI is over here, we can't take AI and just use AI. We've got to put the people side, we've got to overlap the people side on top of AI. AI will make decisions without consultation. AI will make decisions without care factor. AI will make decisions for us without the whole clarity of the picture and the context. Mate, when we say AI and humans, when there's this, it's like workplace health and safety plus leadership. They're not separate. You've got to do them at the same time. AI and leadership, leaders have to do AI as part of their strategy and their tactics on a daily basis. And leaders need to start asking the question, what's AI say? Now, here's the thing, Luke, for me. No one's thought about this yet. Leaders will be so much better at communication moving forward. No one's thought about this yet. And I've had to work hard on my communication because AI takes really clear prompts. You imagine if you spoke that clearly to your team as you do with AI.
Yeah, okay. Thought
There's a mic drop.
provoking. Yeah, it's definitely a bomb. I know Bradley on his podcast does the truth bomb or something. So
Truth bomb.
yeah, truth
Wisdom bomb. Boom.
wisdom bomb.
Love it.
Anton, this is for the listeners. What do they do in the next 90 days? 3 actionable steps that you would recommend to the listeners in the next 90
Mate,
days.
we're coming into New Year's Eve and Christmas and the festive season. 1, pick a sporting event next year that scares you. Go and run a marathon, go and climb a hill, go and do 100,000 steps in a day. That's mine next year. Number 2, do 2 things professionally that scare you. Do a public speech, start a business. Do 3 things from a relationship perspective that light you up. Go and have date nights, go and visit somewhere you haven't, take your significant other away, do 1 thing personally, 1 thing physically, 1 thing professionally, 2 things professionally, 3 things personally. Don't thank me now.
Nice. And finally, Anton, what is 1 word that you provide as a legacy to help others who want to build beyond financial success?
Influence.
It's kind of like inspire, influence kind of thing, isn't it?
Oh, it's funny you should mention that. I say the word influence, everyone says one of 2 words. They say impact or they say inspiration. I think influence is bottom level. If you can't get people to follow you, you'll never have an impact. Now, impact is memorable, long term. Would you follow a leader to another organisation, for example, is impact? Inspiration is very external. I look at you and I go, shit, you're this property guy, you're this buyer's advocate, now you're this AI guru. And I go, shit, if Luke can do it, maybe I can do it. That's inspiration, to breathe into someone.
Yeah, you got to start. What you're saying is start the process. It's kind of like, people aren't ready. There's no point in sort of coaching them if they're not ready. So it's the start process of the influence is what you're saying.
Leadership
So many
skill.
gold nuggets from Anton today. So thanks so much for joining us on the Business and Investing Playbook podcast. Mate, so many gold nuggets. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me, man. And that's a big mouthful, the Business and Investing podcast. I like it. Thanks for having me, bro.
Playbook.
Play the playbook. Sorry, bro.
Let's be influential, everyone. Let's be influential.
Let's be influential. And Luke, are you going to write a book on this? Are you going to have all of us as a chapter in your book so that you can call it the Playbook book?
Maybe that could be the professional, one of my professional things that is going to scare me next year. Love it. Thanks, Anton.
Love your work, Luke.